Welcome everyone to another one chunk biome specific house tutorial. This time we're going to be building in the nether, specifically in the Crimson Forest. You could do this design however in any biome or with any blocks that you want, but we're going to be primarily using the Crimson blocks. And here is your materials list as best as I could make it out. If I made a mistake, it won't kill you to grab a few extra. Now some of these, for example the Crimson Hyphae, it could be stems instead if you wanted to conserve blocks, but I just have it listed as Hyphae because it was easier for me to demonstrate just using that block instead of having to switch back and forth. But you can figure out when you need a Hyphae and when you need a stem, at your own discretion. Also, if you want to grab an extra stack of Crimson Hyphae, we're going to be using that for extra texturing later on, so that's completely optional, but that's what that extra stack is on the bottom. And now I think I've said everything, so we can get started. As you know, this is a one chunk house, so it will be in a 16 by 16 area. I've created this simple blueprint so that you can get the initial layout of the house, and we'll be using it here and there, but not for the entirety of this build. It's not that complicated once you match up the right shapes and the right colors, but if you just need to pause the video and look at how I've built it, you could do that too. And once we have this layout completely filled out, we're just going to go around this whole thing and trace it and just add 2 extra blocks, and I will demonstrate that. So here we have our layout. We're just going to start stacking 2 blocks on all of these wall spaces. In this one area in the front, we're going to make sure there's room for a door, but then everywhere else, we're just going to stack up 2 blocks. Now, wherever you have these stairs appear, we're going to skip over those because those are going to be spots for windows. So basically just stacking up 2 blocks everywhere where there isn't a stair block, and also allowing the 2 block high space in the front for the door. There is an exception though on these 2 back windows where I did want to make those a little bit narrower, so that's completely optional if you want to do that. I am going to go ahead and put a couple extra ones on either side of those. And once you have that all done, we can go ahead and add the next layer, and for this one, every time a window appears, we're just going to go straight over it. So I am placing a little placeholder blocks to make sure that I'm getting that orientation right, just because I'm picky like that, but you can do it however you want. So again, we're just tracing around this one more time, everywhere on the walls and on these corners where the nether brick fences appear. Now time to add the floor for the second floor, and to start this I'm going to build that wall on the top left corner right above the corner block on the back left of the house. If you need to get a closer look at that, you can pause the video, but it's going to start back there and then you're just going to build out the rest of the shape from that point, because this whole floor overhangs the wall, so you're not really able to see what's underneath and where it needs to be positioned. If it gets confusing, just line up those 2 walls on the corners in the back and everything else should line up fine. Now I do have those stripped logs in the middle of the floor, and that's just to help mark where some of the walls go later on. So that's just for your own reference, and those don't have to be stripped wood, they could be something else, but that's why those are there. Also, make sure you have some kind of opening in order to get to the second floor, either by ladder or by stairs. Once you have the floor done, we're going to add the wall layout now, so this is just going to be 1 block high just to get the layout of the entire floor. And of course the occasional slabs, because those are needed for the roof later on. Now you should have the second floor done and the layout for the walls on the second floor. Now we're just going to stack up these walls and then we'll be adding the roof and other things. So if you want to look at this chart that I have, I do show you the amount of blocks we need to add to this, but if it's easier for you to follow along, you can do that too. So these are the blocks we're going to place. We have on the front here, we have a double wide wall here, and we just need to put a single block on that front one right above that big window. And directly behind that, this is going to go 4 blocks high. This one here, also 4 blocks high. We're going to skip this block, make this one go 3 blocks high, and that's where one of the windows is going to go. Over here, let's do 2 rows of 3, just like that, and then 2 blocks here, and then 2 blocks here for the nether brick. So it's going to make this very gradual slope, and you'll kind of see a pattern where we're going to do 2 of each height as it gradually goes up. Over here on this inside corner, skip this block, this will be a window. We're going to make this one go 3 blocks high to line up with that. And then this one in the back is going to be 5 blocks high. Now these 4 here, we're going to do 6 blocks added to all of these. So technically, these are going to be 7 blocks high total, but I'm just telling you the numbers that I'm adding to it, not the total height. So hopefully it doesn't confuse you. I just added 6 blocks to both of those. Now in the middle here, we're going to have a door, so go ahead and leave a spot for a door, just like that. And then I'm going to have a 3 block high space for a window, so I'm going to make that and then add an additional one up here. So you should have 2, then 1, then 2, just like this. And that's what it looks like. Now on this side, we need to, starting from this point to this corner, we need to stack it up to 5 blocks tall. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Technically 6 blocks tall because we're adding 5 blocks. I really need to get that straight, but if you're looking at my graph I showed before, those are blocks we're adding to, not the total. Okay. Then we have this spot I'm going to leave open for a window, and this one we're also going to bring up to line up with that wall, so it'll be 5 blocks added to that. Now on the back we have a double wall and a triple wall, and this is just because of the way the roof is, so it's really more for looks than anything else that it does this, but we can't really remove any of these extra walls. I know it looks kind of funny, but it'll make the house look cooler in the end. So we've got this front section here. We're going to go ahead and do 2 right there, 2 planks, skip 1, 2 planks, and we're going to do a stack of 2 3 times. So you got 3 in the middle, and then 2 there, and again, it's making this really gradual slope. Now in the back, we're going to put 1 here, 6 here, and 7 on the next one. You'll see that these are going to be lining up with those in the front. So if that makes it easier for you, you just need to line those up. So these 2 are going to be adding 6 to them too. This one we're going to add 5. Over here, let's go ahead and put 1 and 1 there, and that's just for the roof. You don't even have to fill those in probably, but that's what those are for. This one, we're going to add 5. Then we're going to add 4 to the next 2. Then 3 to the next 2. Then 2. And then this one will be 2. Now the rest of this wall will all just line up with those nether bricks. So we're just adding 2 blocks on all of these. And then of course the windows, if you want to leave it to the roof you can, or you can just add an additional one right there to kind of finish off that window shape. And that's it. That's pretty much it for all of the walls. We just have to add the roof now. So you should be done at this point with all of the wood that you'll need. And now we're ready to use nether brick for the roof. I'm going to start the roof in the back because it's a little bit easier to start from here and see the pattern. So we're just going to go to the back corner here, and I'm going to place a couple of slabs starting where that wall is. So go ahead and place a couple slabs there, and we're going to be repeating this pattern pretty much on all of the roof shapes. We have slabs on one, then we're going to do a full block on the next one, and then slabs again, then a full block, then slabs, then a full block, and you'll see it's creating a nice gradual slope. And wherever a slab is overhanging the edge, you just need to put an extra slab under there so then it will be smooth on the top and the bottom. Whatever you placed before, it was a full block, just do slabs, then full block, slabs, full block, slabs, and then put slabs where they're missing on the bottom side. So it's pretty simple, and we're just going to repeat that basically throughout the roof. This roof, we do need to make sure we're starting this side with a full block. So I found it easier to start right here on this corner where there's a single pillar. Just go ahead and put a full block there and an extra block sticking out. We're also making sure we're overhanging the wall by 1 block just so it has more depth. Go ahead and put a couple slabs next to that. Now this one here is a little bit special because we're going to have a window that comes up to this point. We need our slab to start right there. We need to make sure that this whole block is empty. So do a slab next there, slab like that, and make sure to get that bottom slab on the edge, but we need this to be a full air block right there just so we have room for the window. That's the only one like that. Once we reach this point, we have a different wall, so just make sure it's going to go in a little bit right there. I don't really know how to put that into words, but you can see exactly what I'm talking about, hopefully. And then we're going to do another slab. So there's actually 2 slabs on this end, which is a little bit special, but it works. So once you have that all figured out, then all we have to do is pull these all the way across to the other wall. So I'm just going to take this slab and pull it all the way across, making sure it's overhanging that side by 1 block. Take the full block, pull it across, and then just continue this pattern all the way down. Now once you've reached this point where you're lined up with this pillar of planks, we're going to pull this next one all the way up to that and then overhang it by 1, and then we'll just continue from there, going all the way to this edge. Now we just have a couple more sections of roof to finish off. This one's a little bit special, so we have a slab here. We need to put a full block under that just to make it look, I think it looks the best with the full block. Then we're going to switch to slabs again and do slabs up to this point. Don't forget this extra one. Then a full blocks, and then slabs once more, and that should be good for this roof. Now we just have to finish the roof here in the front. So right in front of this wall, we're going to add 2 extra slabs, then full block, slabs, full block, slabs, repeat, repeat, repeat. When you get to this one, I'm just going to put a single slab here because I want to leave that one open for this little porch area so it's a nice square shape or rectangle. Then add your extra slabs and you're done with the roof. Now we have to add all of the little details and stuff, so starting with this porch area, I'm going to add some trapdoors for the railing. I'm going to start on the inside here and do 3 on the inside, and then I'm going to switch to the outside and do 3 on the outside. Actually, we're going to do the outside the rest of the way all around. I like to switch it like halfway here just so that this little switch doesn't look so tacky if it's just a single block. Then right here you can add an extra one if you want right in front of that pillar to close it off. Then of course go ahead and add your door right here. Now for the windows, we're going to be using crimson trapdoors for all of the windows. So you're just going to have to find any opening that you see and just place trapdoors and open them. Now I would recommend you doing it from the outside of the house because I think it looks better when the windows are kind of indented when you look at it from the outside. So that is the only thing which might be a little bit trickier to do, is just to make sure you're placing them from the outside of the house. Alright, and don't forget your front door either. Probably should have added that before, but there it is. And now we have the house pretty much done and you can start decorating it. Here is a few things that we're going to do. First things first, we need a ladder to go to the 2nd floor, or if you left it an opening that was bigger, you could do a staircase, but I'm just going to do a ladder for this one. Now since we have these corners where these trapdoors are, I thought it would be cool to put shroom lights all along the corners here. That way you can actually look at the outside and see that there's lights on the inside, and it just looked kind of cool. So I'm going to put shroom lights here on that corner where there's 2 trapdoors, and also on this corner where these 2 trapdoors are right next to each other, and just make a whole column of shroom lights just like that. It doesn't look so great on the inside, although it does add some light, but it does look really neat on the outside when you look at it. Also, I thought it would be cool, because we have this big window here on the 1st floor, I thought it would be cool if we put a portal here. So go ahead and do, if you want, a portal, a 3x3 portal right here And then when you look through it on the outside, you'll see that purple portal effect through the window, and it looks pretty awesome. So here, let's back that out, and you can see the lights coming through there, the portal effect. I just think it looks really neat. If you did want to add some extra texturing to make it even cooler, here's what you can do. I had some extra crimson hyphae that you could collect at the beginning of the video, so if you do have some of that, go ahead and start using it and some planks to texture your build a little bit. So I'm creating a gradient effect that starts with the crimson hyphae being the darkest, and then the planks, and then the stripped. And if you just add patches of this throughout the house, it actually looks kind of cool. Now, I only did the crimson in just a few select spots because I didn't want to overwhelm it, but it almost looks like the house is either falling apart or, I don't know, it just looks like stuff is growing on it. It looks really cool. So if you want to texture it a little bit more just like that, just be creative with the build and stylize it a little bit more. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. I did try to do a little more first person in it, although it's not my favorite thing to do. I just don't like these videos to get too long, and I just try to consolidate it as much as I can, but I did try it a little bit more in this video because I know some people prefer it. It's just not my preference for my tutorials, but I thought I'd give it a try anyway. So let me know what you think of it, and if you'd like to see other house tutorials, I have a few more, and yep, that's it. Have a great day, guys. I hope to see you again sometime. Goodbye.